a kinder grinder, a Beatles blinder, and a condom reminder. Coming up today on The Point.
Qu'est-ce que tu vas me faire? Tu me fais pas peur. Plus de souper avec tes parents.
Hello and welcome to The Point, the only talk show bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens. Hello, everybody. We're gonna jump right into it. Talking point number one, a kinder grinder.
Nope, never gonna happen.
So Grindr has kicked off this campaign. At first, people thought it would be a new app, but now it seems to be just a public awareness campaign to make people on Grindr kinder.
Hold on, can you say it more slowly?
To make Grindr kinder.
We could have done a whole other show in that pause. What's the problem? What's the problem with Grindr?
So Grindr has
Gays are terrible, and they say terrible things to you.
Like what?
well,
Like,
it's
stop
online
being ugly.
bullying. It's online bullying. It's racist. It's
all the wrong things that are wrong with the world.
Like body shaming. It's,
Have you gotten / given such horrible statements on Grindr?
me?
I've gotten
Any of the gay
I'm
people
a
on
perfect
this?
human being.
Well,
I've never said anything.
I'm honest. Clearly, I'm not the problem.
You've gotten into Grindr
Fights. Arguments?
Yes,
Arguments?
I have done that.
Like
Wars?
people have.
People are assholes.
I mean, what is the worst thing that someone has said to you on Grindr?
Steve Buscemi one, right?
Oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
the Chevy one.
Yeah. So what was that?
Where some guy told me I looked like a cross between Nicolas Cage and Steve Buscemi. Like I looked like they had a child together. It was really mean. So
Okay, what
mean.
else? We heard that
I don't
one.
see the Nicolas Cage part.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
I love you,
The
Adam.
difficult question for the end, is that the good side or the bad
I
side?
tried so hard today.
Yeah, Nisha.
I don't know. Another one. I showered. I did shower. Thank you so much. I one time on my profile I have it listed that the tribe is like a twink, and like this guy berated me for like half an hour telling me
'Cause you
that
have a beard?
I wasn't twink anymore, and that I shouldn't be. And like,
Because
is
you're
there
too
what-
old to be
that
a
I'm-
twink?
Yeah, I guess.
I thought twink
yeah.
was like an appearance. Is it? Is
Well,
there
but
like an
it's
age
young.
associated?
You have
Yeah,
to,
it's young,
yeah.
yeah. But like, what else am I
What's
gonna
an
go by? I'm
old
not an
twink?
otter. I don't have
Sad.
like hair.
Kinder grinder, guys.
Yeah, kind of.
Grinder grinder.
It doesn't begin at this table, that's for sure.
So how do we kinder grinder?
I mean, so obviously this is phrases people say: no blacks, no Asians, no fats, no femmes.
Wait,
right?
sorry.
Straight
These
out.
are the kinder rules.
No,
Okay.
people say this. So
Okay.
they've
To be fair, I haven't really seen that as often as it used to be.
well, they've released
You're
now.
also
It's
white?
through the app. If you go on
reading
the
people's
app,
profiles, I mean.
if you go on the app, which friends tell me, if you go on the app, these videos come up that they're like public service announcements about how these negative comments are basically online bullying. And they have a website now. Kinder itself has a website with all of the public awareness campaign. Will it work?
Can I just say, like, I
It's
thought
gonna take a lot. Sorry, it's gonna
No,
take a
it's
lot
okay.
more than some kinder website because, there's like this irony of this campaign being made by the people who made the app, which sort of kind of catalyzed this.
Who now
terribleness.
added a group function where you can now have multiple people to make fun of and like disinclude from your
How do
uninclude?
you
I don't know.
what?
From your orgies.
there's like a plus button now
Yeah,
where you can
you
add
can
people
add
into your
chat.
conversation.
Yeah, they're making it
Yeah.
easier to have orgies and like instead of you sending your friend's picture, you're all sending each other pictures in one group chat and then planning orgies and then just like
I mean, planning orgies is one thing. Being kind to another is like to each other is
yeah,
another
but then
thing.
it's like, oh well, he's not my type, so he's out of this.
Yeah.
Like it's just causing more.
just a group chat, be like, lol, let's all decide to kick that guy out.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't think so,
He's
funny
not-
nose. something terrible
Mushroom
like that. Mushroom dick. Get this guy out of here. Hashtag Grindr.
Does this same thing happen? I mean, I know you don't Tinder anymore because you're married.
Giggity.
Yeah, hopefully. Jeez, that would be terrible if I admitted that
That
online.
actually works.
But is the bullying the same on like Tinder and?
I don't know about the bullying. I think for female, I think there's a lot. Like they get a lot.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that sort of drove me nuts were the people who had like all these stipulations. Like you have to be over 5'10" because I like to wear heels. Like I was like, that's basically you're just saying I'm an accessory. Like I'm not as important as your shoes, right?
I have good shoes.
You're not.
Yeah. Well, I remember like doing that, and I just put as a joke on mine. I'm like, you have to have like a 26-inch waist because I like to wear corsets, right? Just to see what kind of reaction. And some people got the joke, and then other people were like, you like to wear corsets? You're gay. And I was like, sure, whatever. It's a joke. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I got any like real bullying on my end, but like all my female friends have plenty of stories.
Yeah,
People-
it's a totally different game.
Yeah.
I think for women versus men on straight dating apps entirely, because it's very much a
It's a male thing.
yeah, like
to do
the
that.
men are gonna like message and reach out, and all of that happens the majority of the time. And it's a totally different experience to, the women who are getting all of these different messages from these different men, and it's a totally different thing, I think.
So how can we all be kinder online? What do we all do now?
Stop being a terrible person.
Well, I think.
But are
Let's
people
do
going to
actionable-
stop being
Yeah.
a terrible
Let's do
people?
actionable. Let's define what is horribleness, aside from the obvious ones.
Like going out of your way to message somebody based on their profile information or picture, like just don't say anything. What is
don't
wrong?
like.
But
You
I do
already
that.
don't like.
I do that whenever I see someone who's like being a terrible person in their profile.
Yeah,
I
that's
just like
different,
shun
but
that.
it's like
different.
somebody
If you're
just-
just going out and being an asshole, like if I see you and like, oh, you fucking bald little shit, like fuck you, why are you on Grindr?
Bastard.
I've been made fun of for balding.
On
like
straight
that's
apps,
the thing
though,
too.
you can't message people until you've matched with them. It's
On
a different
Tinder.
thing.
Yeah.
On Tinder,
Yeah.
you don't see matches and stuff on other apps. Like you get
we
matched
have
up
one
with
too.
people.
It's called
I
Chatty.
think the biggest problem is because this is happening all on the internet. There's that wall of anonymity.
Right.
Like, you
Yeah.
have
No,
that
absolutely.
protection. So people are terrible people when they know they have that protection.
Yeah,
I
that's
think the
never
only
gonna
way you get rid
change.
of that is if like your personal information could be shared, right?
Yeah.
Which is that opens up a whole other can of worms. But
It's like comment sections that make you use your real name versus
Or something,
you know,
yeah.
like
Do you know what I wish though? I'm not going to take anything away from online bullying campaigns and all that, but I wish we also taught people to be stronger and to be able to say, this says more about you than it does me. Fuck you.
Yeah, but people grow up with
Agreed.
insecurities. Like it's never gonna change. You're
Yeah.
always gonna feel like shit.
Totally agree. I also think we should teach, especially guys, because I think women know how to handle it a little bit more, how to deal with rejection. We don't know how to do that. And then that's when you get the whole, well, fuck you, I didn't want to date you anyways,
Yeah.
and like
You're
we
not
have
even that
no
hot.
idea.
Yeah, they,
Especially
like,
like when you're
flip.
like
Taking my
horny,
ball and
you have
going
no
home.
idea how to handle yourself because you're not taught that in school.
yeah.
Especially in Ontario.
Now.
Now.
Yeah.
Fred, though, just real quick, to your point of like people being stronger, do you think part of that comes from the mentality of none of this existing when you were kind of developing and dealing with your sort of sexuality as a young man? And not having that constant barrage of like, you're horrible, your body's gross, and you know what I mean? Like, is it that you were able to develop that strength outside of that, and now you have those skills that now if you chose to be part of it, you could just let it roll off your back?
I don't wish face-to-face bullying upon anyone, but I will say that
It's worse.
it's worse, but at the same time, it makes you stronger, I think.
Yeah, because it's happening in real life.
Because it's
more of a
happening in
visceral
real time.
experience.
It's here, and you, like, it's embarrassing and it's awful and it's hurtful, but it also, you know who's bullying. When it's face-to-face bullying, you know who is bullying you, and you know this person, and you know their psyche, and you know that you have to face them the next day, but they also have to face you.
Yeah.
But it's also you can leave that situation when it's online bullying.
No,
There's this
I'm
whole
not
thing
saying- no,
of stuff that's always it's with you everywhere
No,
you go.
I understand
you can't
that.
escape
I understand
it.
that. This is one of the downsides of. It's great that we have these online tools and people can meet each other.
That's another good gay
even
dating
if
app,
it's
online tools.
online
Duel.
Hashtag online tools.
But it leads to more
for chat
depression.
only. I
and
mean,
more
it's good that people can
suicide.
use online forums to meet people, but there is a downside and there is a dark side. And I actually think, Adam, you made the point about the educational system dealing with this. We need to teach young people how to exist in an online environment. And just to go local for a minute, in Ontario, the premier here, the new premier here, a conservative, has reversed the sex ed curriculum to take out any reference to online bullying and the way teenagers.
Because you're going back
deal
to
with
the
today.
1998 curriculum.
Yes.
Do you remember all the gay, like the dating apps that we were using in 19? Remember how primitive they were?
So primitive.
They didn't
AOL
exist.
chat rooms?
They didn't exist. It was not a thing. So
Right.
you can't
That's-
roll back
yes,
to a
exactly.
time where
Exactly.
the technology
Anyway,
wasn't even
I
there.
have-
Male seeking male.
Bottom line, yes, we all need to be kinder, but I don't think a public service campaign is going to get rid of the trolls. Because the
Hugdaddy.com.
trolls will troll.
Yeah.
And speaking of trolls,
Just a word.
it's time for Tito's Midpoint.
Wow.
No mercy, baby.
This week we're playing Mood Point, and it's just going to be true or false questions.
I like this one.
So just answer true.
And
or
this
false.
is headlines of the summer, is it not?
Headlines of the summer. You're correct.
Okay,
How did you know that?
He does his research.
All right.
Not
we
summer
have,
penis, summer headlines.
This headline is it true or false? Novelist who penned "How to Murder Your Husband" essay has been charged with husband's murder.
True. Heard it. Well, seen it on the internet. Can I just side note? Who has been finding out that they've been saying I've heard of that when they've actually, it's actually something that they've read on the internet.
Yeah.
Or everybody's talking about it. It's actually just
I
the
was gonna
internet
say, I
everybody's
saw
talking
that.
about it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I saw
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry to hear, like somebody texts you, I'm not feeling well. Sorry to hear that, but you didn't actually hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I
know.
hear
It's
ya.
just an expression.
Yeah.
I hear you.
LOL.
Yeah, and so
Heard of it.
what's
Yeah,
the
so police in Portland, Oregon arrested 68-year-old author Nancy Crampton Brophy. She is charged with the murder for the death of her 63-year-old husband.
Did she do it? Has she been convicted yet? He does not like the
Next.
follow-ups.
A study found that the most viruses in an airport are found in the toilets. True or
False.
I'm gonna say true.
No.
I'm gonna say they're on the handrails of those like walking faster conveyor belt things.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Say handrails, doorknobs, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is false. The plastic trays and security lines are a haven for respiratory viruses. The trays harbor more of these pathogens than the flushing button on the airport toilets.
Well, a lot of the airport toilets now don't even have the flush.
Everybody has to go through security.
You know
Not
what?
everybody uses the bathroom in the airplane.
and it would suck if somebody used the bathroom in one of those trays? That would be really bad.
I'm sure that's happened too.
Oh, most likely.
What happens when you X-ray like fresh, steaming piles of shit?
Nothing.
Do they cool off suddenly? Is that how they flash freeze them?
What?
X-rays?
Okay, Tito, next question.
We're
Next
gonna enroll you
headline.
in a science class.
Next
Yeah.
headline.
Paris installs sidewalk dog poop disposals.
I feel like that's
I'm
a
gonna say
Parisian
it's
thing to do.
true.
No, I think Paris is filthy.
Well, I think maybe that's why they're trying not to be. That's my guess.
So you have a motive. You have somewhat of a
No.
possible
Yeah,
solution.
like that could be why, but it could also be why they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
because
say true.
they're filthy.
It's false, but
Oh.
it gets
second one
pretty
I got wrong.
interesting. The city is experimenting with completely exposed, eco-friendly urinals. The devices are called Uritrottoir. I don't know, which
Oh,
combines the words for urinal and
No.
pavement.
You know what?
that's not okay.
That's interesting. Laura was telling
So
me
you
that
just
like
don't even
people
have to
don't
wash
use
your
bathrooms
hands.
there. Like people just piss on
They
the
have
streets.
public. No, they
all
don't have
over the
to.
place.
Paris has public washrooms where you wait for.
Yeah, but people don't do that.
And
People
they, like,
just piss
open.
right on the streets all the
so
time, and
gross.
the air
I've seen,
smells
like,
like piss. So
those-
this is an interesting.
They're like little pods.
I've seen like circular public urinals where there's like four like
Yeah.
all facing the middle, and you just kind of walk in and you just do your business, walk up. But
That's those groups
This
on
one
Grindr.
It looks
kinda
like a
just
mailbox.
Looks like a Canada Post like
Yeah, Yeah,
That one is.
well, that's how shitty they are.
Warning, do not insert your mail here.
Yeah.
Just your mail member.
So what's
Gay-gay.
this on top?
It's
I guess an
eco-friendly. It's
ashtray.
like little, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like little
So
gardens.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Anyway,
Yuri trottoir.
there
So
you go.
You're a territory.
That's how you say
No,
it.
it's a sidewalk.
Oh, I wish we could zoom in.
It combines
at the
the
little
words
animated guy pissing in the
urinal.
thing. Look at him up there.
It actually just looks like a garbage can in there.
But like he's got like a full lean going and like a stream, and he's looking up like woo.
$10, somebody takes a dump on the top of that.
Well, fertilizer for
For
the
sure.
soil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they don't do it in the airport tray.
Yeah.
Next, FBI says it has recovered stolen ruby slippers missing for 13 years.
Sorry, what?
True.
That I know
Yeah.
is true.
What did they recover?
Ruby slippers.
Ruby slippers from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Tis true. 13 years ago, they went missing from the movie. They were stolen from the Judy Garland Museum in Minnesota, and now the FBI says the slippers have been recovered.
Where?
Soda.
Lollipop Land.
Who stole them?
In the next question, that will be answered. Teenage breaks into house and asks for something to eat.
That happened yesterday.
True.
Yeah.
Wow, news gets out fast.
Yeah. I'm gonna say true.
say
I'm sure that's happened somewhere.
False.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
A teenager in Palo Alto, California, was arrested after allegedly breaking into a couple's home, but after the 17-year-old snuck into the house, he actually woke up the couple sleeping in their bedroom and asked for their Wi-Fi password.
Oh my God, that's my favorite story
Yeah,
of
ever.
the
Wow.
year so far.
What's
That
your
guy
Wi-Fi?
really had to respond to somebody on Grindr.
Had to.
And did not want to use his
Had no
data.
more data.
Like,
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's a good story.
Vienna's subway got so hot, so they gave out ice cubes.
That's a stupid solution to a
False.
false problem.
False.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's stupid.
Temperatures on the subway line in Vienna hit 95 degrees, so the transit company handed out free deodorant.
I like that.
That's a
We
good
need to do
solution.
that on the TTC.
Yes.
The
100%.
company
We need to do that on the
spokesman
point.
says that desperate passengers tore deodorant spray out of train workers' hands. That's how desperate they were. It smelled good.
Dang.
Why did they let them off the trains?
It was too hot. Too hot. The man with the world's longest hair cuts it off after 66 years.
Sure.
Yeah, true. Why not?
66
I'm gonna
years?
say false.
Why?
Because?
Because I think the story is actually the man with the longest nails.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It's a trick question.
Yeah.
The longest one is the thumbnail, which clocks in at about 6.5 feet long.
It's so gross.
If you really want to think of how gross that is, watch the video of them cutting it off.
Nope.
Is it like?
They
Like
use
that
it. They use
scene
a
in Dumb and
grinder.
Dumber.
They use a grinder, and
They
they're just
cut
like
off
literally there, like
using
They use a
small-
phone app?
yes.
The
They-
kinder grinder.
How do
We're on
you
the same wavelength.
work and like live with that?
They cut him off using a small circular saw at the ceremony in New York.
At the ceremony.
Ceremony.
I'm sorry, there was a
He was in
ceremony.
Ripley's. He was in like the Ripley's thing.
It's
That's
so
not
disgusting.
a
If you've seen
compliment.
pictures of them, it
Ew.
is so disgusting.
They, like,
thick.
curl.
They're like claws. They're
What
like-
happens if you like soak them in really warm water? Do they get all bendy?
No, they're nails.
Well, you can't.
They're already bendy.
Palm olive. You're
Yeah.
soaking in it. Go. Next.
The last one. Oregon artist Mike Schneider makes his own boyfriend.
Who?
Who? What?
True. I'm gonna say true on that.
He makes his own. I didn't understand the question.
An artist,
That's
Mike
the headline.
Schneider,
He makes his own boyfriend.
His own boyfriend.
Created.
True.
Sure.
I mean, I would if I could. So I'm gonna say true.
Girl.
You're correct.
Yay! There's
made-
hope for me.
He made a boyfriend out of empty wine boxes. He called the box boyfriend Franz and posted pictures online. Now they're engaged, and he says everything happens for a Riesling.
I'm so.
Oh god.
Is this guy a psycho, or are these just like? Is he just doing this as like a
He's
bit?
an artist.
I'm already
right?
not inviting him.
No,
to
but I mean,
places.
like, you know, people who are like in love with like inanimate
like-
objects and
Yeah.
shit
No,
like that,
I
like have
think
mental
this is-
Like the
problems,
chandelier girl
or is
love
he
you.
just doing an actual
Tito,
bit?
how cute. Like,
That's adorable.
Oh,
Looks a little like
my
you,
God.
Fred.
just like most.
The guy, not the
not the
boxes of
wine
wine.
boxes.
And Fred would use that term.
He doesn't even
That-
need
that
suntan
last
lotion.
thing.
He doesn't need suntan lotion.
Perfect boyfriend.
Yes. He doesn't tan, he rosés.
Ah,
Thank you, Tito, for today's midpoint.
yes. Rosés.
The guy's kind of cute.
Yeah, I'd hit that.
No mercy, baby.
And now it's time for talking point number 2, come together. Okay, so Paul McCartney of Beatles fame gave an interview.
I can't remember what it was.
Paul McCartney gave,
All right. Sorry, we were singing "Come Together."
gave an interview over the summer where he admitted to masturbating with his bandmate John Lennon. He says he was over at John's house with a group of friends, quote, instead of just roaring drunk and partying, I don't even know if we were staying over or anything, we were all just in these chairs and the lights were out and somebody started masturbating, so we all did.
Well, like they heard it, like it was dark,
like-
and it's just.
He said there were 5 of them and they continued to masturbate. They would shout out names to keep going. Quote, we were just like, Brigitte Bardot.
Ew.
And then everyone would thrash a bit more. I think
Thrash.
Oh my God.
They're British.
I think it was John who said Winston Churchill.
And then
everyone
everybody
quiet?
came.
But he said it wasn't a big thing. It's quite raunchy when you think about it. There's so many things like that from when you're a kid and that you look back on and you're like, did we do that? But it was good, harmless fun. It didn't hurt anyone, not even Brigitte Bardot.
Did they all come together?
Right now,
Oh, wait.
over you.
You did it. You did it.
God, I'm always so late. Jesus.
Okay,
But, like, did they?
Okay, so I did a little, because I've always heard of this thing about straight men, like in university.
So like in preparation, you thought like, oh, I better Google guys jerking off together.
It's a thing.
was a solid
It's
4
a
hours
thing.
of research.
No, it's a
Whatever.
thing.
That came up as like his first thing.
No, I remember.
Autocomplete history.
I remember when I was younger, you know, like in university and
I
college,
believe that.
that straight guys would like watch porn together, and I never understood it. So okay,
I don't understand. As a straight guy, I don't get that either.
So it is.
I know the
thing.
straight guys who've done it though.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
but I
a
still
thing.
don't get it.
It's called buddy baiting.
Buddy baiting.
when you
Straight
give it
men who
names and they start,
masturbate
like-
together.
As long as they are not touching each other, then it's not gay.
Well, but that's the thing. Is this more common than? I mean, you said you.
Well, I knew people that did it, and then like there's also
I
like
knew people who did it.
like
what I was
in
thinking.
university,
They
like
went
I
invited
knew
to
a
the
couple
wedding.
guys that it was their goal to teabag everybody on the floor.
Like
Yeah.
dudes?
Men or women?
Men, mostly the men.
Yeah.
Because the women, you got to watch out for, like.
Right.
You
So
don't
as
wanna
like
get
a
in
prank.
trouble. Yeah, yeah.
You could end up running for Supreme
that's the
Court
thing, if
justice,
you-
and everybody
yeah.
makes a whole fuss about it.
But if you think about that, like, how gay does that sound? That it was his goal to have his balls in all the guys' mouths.
When I went to high school, that was like sort of a thing.
I thought it was
It's
on their
just like a
forehead.
funny heart. Like
But that's the thing, right? And it's like most people I know who played like organized sports, like for a high end, like a very prestigious team, like hockey or football or anything. There's stories of them like masturbating in the back of the bus together. Yeah.
I had friends.
So it's just a bonding thing?
It's
I
a
think it
weird
is.
challenge thing.
weird.
It's like prove you're not gay by masturbating in front of me. Like that's a
Yeah.
weird thing.
Which is something a gay guy who's trying to convince you to show him his dick
Yeah.
would say.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
I had one of my classmates in university, like, he told me, you know, when they were camping, or just like takes out their dicks and they compare them, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, it's like girls comparing boobs. Like, it's like.
Did you
guess.
ever watch that movie Goon? Has anybody here watched
Oh,
it?
yeah.
It's a
Where the
great movie.
two Russian guys are going to Sean William Scott is like, take out your dick. Well, you need to sign it, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do this. He's like, why? You gay? Right? And it's
gay?
like,
Touch my penis, bro.
Like it's gay that you don't
Yeah,
want to
I
take your
don't
dick out
understand
for
this.
another dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's.
I mean, truthfully, I don't understand this either. Okay.
Okay.
Also, talking about headlines from the summer. Over the summer, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control tweeted out a warning.
Oh God, I remember
We say
this.
it because we say it because people do it. Don't wash or reuse condoms. Use a fresh one for each #SexAct.
Really?
Who is so cheap?
Why is that the hashtag? What?
I
Sex act number 1.
don't know why.
The
no,
inciting
okay.
incident.
Make brain hurt. Are people? They said they say it because people do it.
How does one even wash a condom?
Why do they do that? Like, I feel like people who are that stupid.
Well, I think you do. You wash it with
should
whites.
just not use
Should
condoms.
be using condoms a lot.
They should be,
Unless
but
they're
I,
the color condoms.
I
then
mean, you just like dump it out and then just like put soap on it.
A couple of
and just
drops
rinse
of
it off.
chlorine. You know,
do you,
like bleach.
hand
Yeah,
wash?
just do the finger scoop.
Plastics are plastic
Gotta
pollution.
get it out.
Plastic pollution is really
How
bad.
do you get an unrolled condom on? You know what I mean? Have you ever
You just
tried?
put it on like a glove.
It's
Yeah,
not.
you gotta
Yeah,
do
you have
that.
to, like,
you gotta. And it's
I don't know,
weird.
there's not
like
that much room.
The amount. I've watched porn where like
No, I just-
porn stars have a
You're
hard
right.
time getting it on because they try to do that. I'm like,
Have you ever put socks on a baby's feet? Have you?
Yes.
I put
Yeah.
condoms on a baby's
You roll
feet.
them up, and you start at the bottom, and then
you
you just
work
keep
your way
pulling
back.
until they're
Yeah.
they're on there.
I do that with my socks.
Your socks are your condoms.
But like baby's feet, because they're
yeah.
Maybe
Say a lot of
we
that.
should start a GoFundMe for
Oh,
people
yeah.
who can't afford to buy condoms.
No, yeah,
Like,
like you
it-
go into
You don't
like
even need to
any.
buy them. Just
They're
take
like
them.
at the doctor's office. It's like a bowl.
I think it's like people who maybe just run out halfway through and they're like, oh, I already whipped it out or took it off for whatever reason, and now I want to go for round two. I don't
Wait,
have a
but why
condom.
would you wash it? You would just put it back on.
Maybe no,
that's
they
like
don't
all
want you to even
sloppy.
put it back on, right? They don't
Sloppy.
want once it's off, it's off. I think that's the whole point. But there was like,
I just imagine like someone like doing a clothesline and just hanging condoms.
but
on
there,
it.
like there was a story like a long
It was a
time
long
ago
week,
of
the
people using
70s,
chocolate
you know?
bar wrappers.
We're trying.
Wait, what?
There was a story like a long time
Yeah,
ago of
I
like
think
kids
so.
using chocolate bar wrappers because there
For
wasn't
condoms?
Yeah, because they didn't have a condom available, and they're like, I've got this
Like a bread bag.
yeah
just
Snickers
like whatever.
thing. I'll use this
Ew.
instead.
But that has
yeah.
like sharp edges.
yes,
Ow.
but this is boys can be stupid.
That's
Based
why
on
they
the
need to
last
be
two stories
educated.
that we've touched on.
That's
here.
true. That's
Boys
true.
can be stupid.
Boys are stupid.
Wow. Well, next time somebody wants a Milky Way, I know what they're referring to.
Of every chocolate bar, you could have gone with O. Henry. Like, come on.
Mr. Big.
Mr. Big.
Chunky
Butterfingers.
Butterfinger.
Okay, we just realized that all chocolate bars are innuendos for dick.
Yes.
Every single one of them.
Mounds
Even
bar.
Bounty.
All right.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Tito, bop of the week.
Eat more.
Two-pack.
You guys are
Family side. So bad.
It
Do you know
is
how many guys tell me I'm too much?
Rita Ora. It's called "Let You Love Me."
Love
I love that song.
So good.
Okay, so it's the bop of the week, Rita Ora. Say the name.
Let You Love Me.
Okay, if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/thepointguys. Helps us greatly, costs you nothing. If you really want to help us out, go to our crowdfunding site, Patreon, patreon.com/thepointguys. Our audio podcast is available on iTunes. Check us out there and take us with you. You can email us at thepointguys@gmail.com. Our website is thepointguys.net. And you can also comment on anything that we talked about on Facebook or Instagram at thepointguys. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, guys. Don't wash your condoms. Use a fresh one.
No,
every
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Use a fresh one in case we weren't clear on that.
You're not just saying use them dirty.
We have a new show every Tuesday, so we will see you next Tuesday on The Point.
And I will have